You know that feeling, right? You're standing right on the edge of a huge decision, a big leap. But there's that voice in your head, the one that keeps pulling you back, and it's painting this super vivid picture of every single thing that could go wrong. We're going to dive into that feeling, and we're going to uncover the one question, the most important question, that you're probably not asking yourself.
I mean, that quote just hits home, doesn't it? It's so true. We're absolute pros at creating these detailed, terrifying disasters in our own minds, disasters that haven't even happened. They're totally fictional. And that right there is the heart of the whole problem we're talking about today.
And look, this isn't just some abstract philosophical idea. It's a very real game, a game we play against ourselves. And a lot of the time, we don't even realize we're the ones who set up the board and made all the rules. Yeah, we're calling it the worst case scenario game, and the cost of playing is huge. Just think about it. Spending 90% of your life building this giant ark for a storm that only exists in your imagination, while in reality the sun is shining right outside. It's exhausting.
So, to really get a handle on this game, let's see how it plays out for someone. Let's step inside the prison of what if. We're going to follow the story of a dream that's just teetering on the edge.
So this is Elias. For 10 years, a whole decade, he's been working on this dream. His business plan? It's done. Perfect. The resignation letter to quit his job? It's written, sitting right there on his laptop. But he's totally frozen, just stuck at his kitchen table. And why? Because Elias is an absolute grandmaster at the worst-case scenario game. First, the questions start flooding his mind. And they're sneaky. They disguise themselves as being responsible. What if I can't pay the mortgage? It feels like a smart, practical fear, the kind of thought that's supposed to keep you safe. Then the next wave hits. What will other people think? What if the market just rejects the idea? See, now it's not just about money anymore. This one's about his own worth. It's the fear of rejection, but on a massive scale. And then, of course, comes the social fear. What if I look like a total fool? This is that deep fear of being judged. Probably by the same people who told him to play it safe his whole life. And finally, the knockout blow. What if I lose everything? That's the ultimate fear, right? It bundles all the other fears into one single terrifying possibility. I mean, with an inner monologue like that, it's no wonder the guy is paralyzed. He's literally built a prison for himself, brick by brick, out of his own thoughts. But right when it seems like the walls of this prison are about to close in for good, the story takes a turn. A new voice enters the room, and it's armed with a simple little piece of wisdom that has the power to change absolutely everything. His grandfather sits down with him and says this incredible line. He's reframing the whole idea of imagination. He's saying, look, your imagination isn't the problem. The problem is how you're using it. Elias has become an expert at picturing the destructive power of fire, but he's completely forgotten that fire also provides warmth. And then he asks the one question Elias hasn't even dared to whisper to himself. What if it works out? It's so simple, but it just flips the entire game on its head. And that one question is the key that unlocks this whole next section, rehearsing your success. This is all about taking that powerful imagination of yours and finally pointing it in a new direction, using it not as a weapon against yourself, but as a blueprint for the future you actually want. See, his grandfather doesn't just ask the question and leave it there. He helps Elias actually visualize the answer. He makes him feel the positive side. What would it feel like to have that weight lifted off your chest? What if you woke up every morning actually excited to get to work? What if your idea helps people? And then the big one. What if the only thing you were ever afraid of was your own potential? This isn't about avoiding a storm anymore. It's about picturing the sunshine. And this is the line that just brings it all together. You are so afraid of, what if I fall? But you have to ask yourself, what if I fly? We're so programmed to fixate on the fall, on the crash and burn, that we completely forget to even consider the possibility that we might just soar. The whole point is, we spend so much of our energy mourning a failure that hasn't even happened yet, mourning a dream that hasn't even had a chance to live. The advice here is to flip that script. Stop planning for failure. Instead, start actively rehearsing what your success is going to look like, what it's going to feel like. So this brings us to the ultimate choice. Because it's not really a choice between success and failure. No, it's a choice between two totally different paths, two completely different ways of living your life.
And when you lay it out like this, the choice becomes crystal clear. The path of what if it doesn't work? Well, that leads to a comfortable cage. It's safe, sure, but it's built with the bricks of regret. But the path of what if it does? That leads to the horizon, to pure possibility. Now, the cost isn't zero, but it's paid with courage and faith, not a lifetime of wondering what if.
Okay, so let's pull this out of Elias's story and bring it right into your life. Because this was never really about him, was it? This is about you. It's about your turn to fly.
And that's the honest truth. We've all been Elias, whether it's thinking about a new career, starting a relationship, or just trying to become a better version of ourselves. We have all stood at that same kitchen table with our cursor blinking, just hovering over the send button of our lives. So here's the practical takeaway. It's a conscious pivot. It's a simple two-step move. Step 1, you have to stop asking the question that leads to the cage. You know the one. What if they say no? Step 2, you have to start asking the one that leads to the horizon. What if they say yes, and it changes everything? It's about rewiring the default question your brain asks when it sees a new opportunity.
I love this way of thinking about it. Your mind is like a movie projector, and you are in control of the film reel. If you just keep playing the same old movie of your defeat over and over again, you'll never even walk onto the stage of your own victory. You have to consciously, deliberately switch the reel. And here's one last piece of wisdom to take with you. The universe doesn't really reward people who are experts at seeing all the obstacles. It rewards the people who see the objective. If you're always focused on the thorns at your feet, you're never going to move. But if you focus on that city in the distance, your goal, that's what creates momentum. It's a total shift from a problem-focused mindset to a goal-focused one. So we end right back where this whole transformation started, but this question isn't for Elias anymore. It's for you, for that dream you're holding onto so tight, that leap you're terrified to take. Seriously, just take a moment and ask yourself, so what if you fly?